Good morning, dear friends. I am Dr. Reginam Linus, Associate Professor of Electrical Engineering Department at Sanjay Godavat University, Colombo. The last lecture, we come to know in this under modeling of electrical machine, how one can derive this stator flux linkage if the rotor is salient pole and the stator is excited. In that case, we have derived one equation of flux linkage which has the component of direct axis length of the direct axis air gap as well as length of the quadrature axis air gap. We come to know that in the small air gap is considered as direct axis air gap length, and higher large air gap we have considered as quadrature axis. Quadrature axis air gap. Accordingly, we have found out the reluctance. Initially, we found out what is the magnetomotive force for small region, a particular area. Then we come to know for that by using this integration, before doing integration, we have found out what is the reluctance of that two cases where the air gap is less and the air gap is more. Then we come to know in the particular small space or particular small area what is the value of flux linkage. Flux linkage by considering this two reluctance, then we derive this equation for the flux linkage of total circumferential area by considering that coil span of pi d 180 degree. Then let me share my presentation now. In this last class, I have also promised to you how we have to find out that value of f cap. How we will find out, this is the derivation we have derived in the last class. So how we have to find out this f cap, that is a very important parameters. Then only we can find out this final inductance value. Let me take this stator. If the stator is like this, and we have a rotor. Yeah, we can draw like this. We have a rotor. This is the rotor. So this is our small air gap. We have noted as LGD, and this is our large air gap. We can take it as LGQ. As stator is excited, current is entering here and current is leaving here. So that I already told you, magnetic flux will be maximum in this direction. Now, if you excite this stator, magnetic flux lines will be passes through this. In some of the flux will be passes through this. Like that, this flux lines will be passed through. So now, if the number of turns is ns and current which is flowing through this stator winding is is, we have two air gap here. Length of the air gap, for example, instead of doing this, let me take now this cylindrical stator, cylindrical rotor also, cylindrical rotor. If I am exciting this stator, I excite this stator, what happened? This magnetic flux will be maximum here in this region where positive magnetic flux from alpha equal to 0 to pi. Then again in this case negative magnetic flux. So if you draw the waveforms, we can draw like this square wave. This magnitude is, we have to find out this magnitude. We have already derived this equation how to find out magnitude, but anyway I will repeat it here. The length of the air gap here is uniform, so we can write it as all the length will be LG. So now with this we can conclude by writing Ampere's circuital law. Stator current is stator number of turns in the stator is ns, current which is flowing through the stator is is. Therefore, Ampere's circuital law, integral of h vector dot dl vector is equal to total current enclosed ns into is. So now if you take this air gap, this flux will pass from here and go back, and it will return back to this part. Therefore, we have to write 2 air gap length. So in the air gap length, magnetic flux intensity, field intensity is Hg in the Lg plus again Hg in the Lg equal to Ns into Is. Now from this we will come to know Hg is Hg in the Lg is equal to Ns Is divided by 2. So this is this magnitude is nothing but Ns Is divided by 2. But in our salient pole machine, we come to know the flux distribution will be pure sinusoid. Flux distribution will be pure sinusoidal. So in this pure sinusoidal, if you write this Fourier, this magnitude is you have will be Ns Is divided by 2. So Ns Is divided by 2 magnitude. This is the magnetomotive force. This negative side, the flux linkages will be Ns Is divided by 2. Flux magnetomotive force will be Ns Is divided by 2. So in this case, according to the Fourier transform, we know this is sine is this odd function. So therefore, there is no an terms. Only we will have bn term. So if we accordingly derive it, we will have this equation of this is the f cap. Magnetomotive force f cap. This f cap, this is alpha. So f cap is nothing but 4 by pi. According to the Fourier transform, this magnitude will be Ns Is divided by 2. Ns Is divided by 2. So already we have derived this equation of that psi s. Psi s is nothing but Ns f cap mu naught RL into 1 by LGD plus 1 by LGQ into plus 1 by LGD minus 1 by LGQ into cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta. Now I am assuming that LD is equal to, let me before that we can write this equation. You can substitute this f cap here. Therefore, psi s is equal to n square into n square 4 n square divided by 2 pi into mu naught R into L into Is, R into L into Is into 1 by LGD plus 1 by LGQ plus 1 by LGD minus 1 by LGQ into cos 2 theta. So from this, now I am taking the assumptions. Inductance is nothing but 4 by pi Ns square mu naught RL divided by LGD, then LQ equal to 4 by pi Ns square mu naught RL divided by LGQ. So in this case, we can write psi s is equal to, substitute these two equations here for simplicity. We will have Is into LD by 2 plus LQ by 2 plus LD minus LQ by 2 into cos 2 theta. LD by 2 minus LQ by 2 into cos 2 theta r. Now, let me write now the stator inductance. Stator inductance is nothing but stator flux linkage divided by current, that is equal to LD plus LQ divided by 2 plus LD minus LQ divided by 2 into cos 2 r. This is what we have learned in our beta course, two reaction theory. Let me take now theta r is equal to 0. If theta r equal to 0, automatically we can have Ls is equal to LD plus LQ by 2 plus LD minus LQ by 2. Therefore, this LQ by 2, LQ by 2 will cancel. We will have LD. Similarly, if theta r equal to pi by 2, if you substitute here, we can have Ls is equal to LQ. Then if theta r equal to pi, we have Ls is equal to my LD. Then theta r is equal to, then theta r is equal to 3 pi by 2. We can have Ls is equal to LQ. Then finally theta r equal to 2 pi is nothing but Ls is equal to again LD. So if you draw this curve now, already we come to know LD is nothing but small air gap, therefore LD magnitude will be more. Then similarly LGQ is higher, higher air gap, large air gap, therefore LQ will be, if this denominator is more, automatically LQ will be less. So in this case we can have now this variation of this inductance with respect to theta r. Initially this will be LD, then let me take at 0 is LD, then we can have this value is LQ, so that we can take this waveform as 0, then here pi by 2, then here pi, then 3 pi by 2, then 2 pi. So now here this inductance will be maximum. Let me take another one color. Inductance will be maximum, then again it will come to LQ, then again inductance will be maximum LD, then again it will be LQ, then again LD, like that it will go, so that we will have 4 cycles changes. Simply 2 cycles will be changes in this, within this one cycle. The inductance variation will be varies like this. In normal cases, it will be the smooth waveform of light. So this is the variation of inductance of salient pole rotor when the stator is excited. So inductance of this stator when the rotor is salient pole and stator is excited. So this is what we would like to conclude today's lecture. What we have learned from this is, if there is a cylindrical stator and a cylindrical rotor, their self-inductance of the stator as well as rotor, it will not vary with respect to rotor angle. At the same time, mutual inductance will vary with respect to rotor angle. Similarly, if the rotor is salient pole and stator is cylindrical, in that case, self-inductance of the rotor will not vary with respect to rotor angle. At the same time, mutual inductance between the stator and rotor will vary with respect to rotor angle. Also, the stator inductance will also vary with respect to proton. So this is the conclusion behind this today's lecture. So after one or two lectures, we will start to do the modeling with the MATLAB simulation as well. I hope these topics are understandable and easily you can get these ideas what I am explaining. The people who have not till now subscribe this channel, kindly subscribe it and press the right side bell button also, so that forthcoming lecture you will come to know. Wish you all the best. Thank you.